We are talking now about the oval-shaped game of rugby. There's been sets of twins and sets of brothers all over the world playing this great game of rugby. You would have seen Rory and Richie Arnold. You would have seen Ben and Alex Tullis, and also Ed and Brian Bain. But the twin brothers from England, Tom and Ben Curry, recently played together for England against Ireland in the Six Nations. Right here at home, you would have seen the brothers from the Hendricks family, and in the current box squad, you would have seen some from the Visa family. And I'm going to now be joined on the line by one of a set of twin brothers, a man who played 11 test caps for South Africa between 2006 and 2007, and scored a test try, and he also had 108 Super Rugby appearances for the Bulls between 2006 and 2014, and scoring for the team in the capital 165 points and over 100 domestic appearances for the Blue Bulls in the Currie Cup as well as the Vodacom Cup. This was between 2005 and 2015, as well as Border Bulldogs in the 2004 as well as 2005, and the Mighty Elephants in 2003. His name is Akona Ndungane. My brother, good evening and welcome to Power Sports, and thank you for joining us.
Good evening, BBK. Good evening to the listeners. Thank you for the invite, man. Looking forward to a great show.
I've been looking for you, man. I've been looking for you. I haven't spoken to you in ages. And I know that finally, the last time I saw the two of you together, I wasn't confused. I could tell my Akona from my Odwa.
Number one. No. You were not looking hard enough for me, BBK. I've been there. I've been around, my guy. So, yeah, but it's good to finally chat to you again. It's been some time.
No, wonderful. Great indeed. Let's get straight into it, Akona, then, and look at game number 2. In boxing, they will be saying second out, round number 2, as the Springboks in the green and gold corner are taking on the Azuri in the blue and white. And the Azuri have taken a knock. They have dusted themselves off, and they are thinking that at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, they want to try and get that second victory in this 17th match between the two sides, the Boks having won 16. The significance of this match, though, Akona, looking at the test taking in Gqeberha, the history of the province has with the Boks.
Yeah, I know. We all know how much of a history the Eastern Cape is. We know people love the game, love the Springbok support. There will be a lot here. They don't get to see much of the Springboks play, or they don't get to watch maybe a URC game. I remember the Stormers came down in Gqeberha to play a Champions Cup game. So I think it's a great opportunity for the people of Gqeberha to come out and support the Springboks. You can see the hype. I arrived today in Gqeberha. It's a bit windy.
Yeah.
But, you get to see people outside the hotel just waiting for the Springboks, trying to get pictures with the team and autographs. So the excitement is in the air. There's a couple of debutants that were coming in and play for the Springboks for the first time.
Yeah.
So there's quite a lot riding on this game. So it's exciting. We all know what happened last week. So it's a brand new week, exciting times ahead of us.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by the win, man. Don't they call Port Elizabeth Gqeberha the Windy City?
Yes, no, definitely. It's definitely the Windy City, and it has not disappointed at all.
Yeah.
Very windy.
And those newcomers that you're talking about, Akona, will be starting as replacements. They will be on the bench. You're talking here about the Lions' Asenat in Tlabakanye, and also Ukobas Vise, and is going to be coming off the bench also from the Bulls. And the man from the Sharks, Ethan Hooker, is the third uncapped player. What do you think the moment feels like for guys? I mean, you have been in that situation yourself, having have to go to the field wearing the green and gold for the very first time. What could be going through the minds of these three young boys?
A lot of nerves tonight, obviously. I think some of them might struggle to sleep because of the excitement.
Yeah.
Asenat Tlabakanye did put on the jersey, but obviously it was an unofficial game
against the Barbers. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And then Kobas Vise, I think for him, having Jasper Vise playing in the team, having your brother in the team. So it's a bit of a comfort, but still, you playing for the country for the first time. You get to, sing the national anthem in front of thousands of people. You get to represent the country. And it's exciting as much as it can be nerve-wracking for them.
Mm-hmm.
They've done so well for their unions, the Sharks and the Bulls and the Lions. And I think it's a great chance for them. And we know what Rassie Erasmus is trying to do. He's trying to build a team, obviously, to try and look at 2027 to go and defend the Rugby World Cup in Australia.
Yeah.
So it's a good time for these guys to come and put up their hand and show that they belong here, and they want to be on that flight to Australia in 2027. But I think for them, first things first is try and put up a performance that's convincing. I think the country was sort of disappointed with how the second half was last weekend.
Yeah.
And they're expecting a lot from the team. And that's purely because of what the Springboks have done in the previous games. The performances that they've had, it's been exciting. It's been putting teams away. We haven't seen a lot of mistakes from them, but last week, unfortunately, it was one of those games where we saw a couple of mistakes from the team. But I think it's a brand new game, and the couple of changes that the coach made shows that he means business and he wants to put up a performance that I think the team can be proud of and the country can be proud of.
He's looking for a response indeed. Talking about that process of building, Akona, you would have seen that we no longer have Steven Kishoff after that forced retirement, and also Frans Malherbe is out injured, which then leaves a lot of responsibility on the shoulders of someone like Oxenchair, the man who loves eating his cake, and he now has to assume the role of the elder statesman in the team, don't you think?
Yes, yeah, and I think he's showed that he belongs there. He's played over 40 times for the Springboks. He's one of the senior players, and he's never disappointed when he's put on the green and gold. And we can't blame him for loving his cake because he always wins the scrums for us. And I think for him, he's also got guys like Malcolm Marx, Bongin Bonambi in that front row to rely on. But I think it's always exciting when you see young guys coming through, Jan Hendrik Wessels, and then Osanati Ntlabakanye also, coming through and, getting his first cap tomorrow. So I think it's exciting times as well for us as the fans, to see new faces in the team, to see guys, that put on a very good performance for their unions, getting a chance at the Springboks, and just showing us that, we are in good hands going to the next World Cup.
Indeed, my man, indeed, Akona. But also, there's nothing wrong with having a sweet tooth. You can indulge in as much cake as you want as long as the performance on the field does not drop. Let's look now at the opponents. I mean, the Italians have improved. They've improved their pack, and the threat of Morisi as well as Gabisi is something that we'll have to keep an eye on.
We'll definitely have to keep an eye on. And I think, we'll have to give credit to Coach Gonzalo Crusader from the Italians, what he did with the team, how he managed to actually disrupt the game plan of the Springboks.
Yeah.
We saw last week the breakdown was not great, and they just slowed down the ball and spoiled the ball around the breakdown, and they sort of frustrated the team, and that shows the planning that went behind before going to the game. And even they managed to, diffuse the bomb squad. We always rely on the bomb squad. We get excited when the bomb squad comes in. And I think, he also mentioned that coming to South Africa to play against the Springboks is a nice challenge for them. He's brought in a couple of youngsters to come and test themselves, because he's also trying to build a squad to take forward to the future as well. So I think it's exciting, but I'm expecting a very good response, though, from the Springboks, I must say. And, the Italians won't go down without a fight, because they know that they haven't won in South Africa. And it's a big chance for them. They've got a good chance. But I don't see it happening in Gqeberha. Gqeberha is a town where it's going to be packed. And I think the Springboks will definitely do us proud.
It is definitely going to be a full house. And indeed, Akona, what better way to test yourselves than to do so against the world champions? And as you rightfully say, Italy did show some tactical maturity in last week's game. I'm in conversation with Akona Ndungane. We are discussing what we'll be looking at seeing tomorrow at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium when Amapokopoko take on the Azzurri in the second match of this Castle Lager incoming test, and you are on Power Sport Extra with BBK. You can join in this conversation on 0861 987 000 on Twitter. It is Power FM 987 or BBK Unplugged 99. Or you can send us also a voice note on 083 303 7093. Now, Akona, let's look at some key battles here. Am I right in saying that there has to be some epic tussles going on between Dialande as well as Morris at center, as well as Pollard and Lipok with the boots versus Caprese at the poles?
Yeah, I know there's going to be some nice matchups definitely in the team. You know, you talk about Mani Lipok. We know that he's a type of player that likes to play with ball in hand.
Mm-hmm.
He's been under pressure, you know, with his goal kicking.
When it comes to kicking, right? Yeah.
Yes. 2 weeks ago, he actually, I think he got 5 out of 5, so which was very good to see. Gabisi comes in, also a very nice, experienced scrum half who plays well for Benetton, and I think he actually did very well when he came on last week from the bench. But we all know that Gqeberha can be very windy, so it's going to be challenging for those guys to see how well they can kick either for poles or put their teams in good position. So tomorrow, I'm looking forward to it. And I think, you know, they say that it might be cold tomorrow, but I think it's going to be very entertaining and the guys will keep us warm and entertained.
Speaking of entertaining, Mani can provide loads and loads of entertainment with those no-look passes of his. And of course, you know, he gets a lot of sticks when he gets them wrong. And I think you remember the game that you played against Argentina. And to see him doing as well as he did against the Barbers, getting all the 5 in, it also shows that he's been putting some work, Akona, in terms of improving his kicking.
And I think that's what we have to give credit to the coaching staff. You know, they see the potential in Mani Lipok. They know what he can do for them, and they believe that he's a guy that gets the team moving. When he plays well, the team plays well. So I think they've realized that there's a couple of things that he can improve on, his goal kicking, and they've worked hard on it. You know, and that's what I think the Springbok coaching staff can do well. They realized what they needed to work on, and they've helped him. And I think, you know, when Mani is kicking well for poles, then his confidence is high, and they can get the team going. And you know, he plays well for the team. So now there's a very, very good chance that. And the nice thing is that Sasha Feinberg-Gomezulu is also on the bench.
Indeed.
That can come on.
Indeed.
Who's also a very good player, also kicks very well for poles. So this team, for me, is exciting, and I can't wait for them to play tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Long may the improvement of Mani continue as well as Sasha, because at some stage, somewhere down the line, Andre Pollard is going to move away and go and allow these two men to take over and continue doing the business with the boots for the men in green and gold. Now, when you look at the future, the significance of these fixtures for the upcoming Rugby Championship, I know that after this in Gqeberha tomorrow, we are going to be moving on to Mbombela, playing against Georgia as we continue sharpening up for the Rugby Championship. How do you see the future in terms of the Rugby World Cup seeding?
Now, the future is bright, BBK. I think it's exciting for us as South Africans. This week, I was in Middelburg watching the Craven Week. And, you know, you look at the kids there, and then you can only be excited to see the amount of talented boys coming through the age group. And, you know, you talk about the Springboks now, you talk about the youngsters, Sasha Feinberg-Gomezulu, Ethan Hooker, Asenati Tlabakanye, and that's the future, you know, and they've got so much experience with them. We've got Willie Leroux that's playing his 100th test match tomorrow. You've got Peter Steff coming back, Peter Steff du Toit. You've got Grant Williams coming back. So I think it's a blend of youth and experience, which is very exciting. And I think, the beauty about it as well, as you know, BBK, we're celebrating the 30th anniversary of the 95 World Cup.
Indeed.
So I think it's exciting. And I think what better way for SuperSport and SABC to show the game, to give the people of the country celebrate with the Springboks, watch the game live on SABC and SuperSport. And also, I think, the exciting part now is that, the fans can also pick their players for the dream team. So there's quite a lot of things that are exciting at the moment with the Springboks, with the fans, with SuperSport, and so I think I'm just excited, and I can't wait for tomorrow, and then hopefully the Springboks can just put a lot of smiles in our faces.
Indeed, Akona, it is always great when it is interactive as well, and I cannot overemphasize the significance of having the public broadcaster being able to show this game live, because the game belongs to the people, not only to those who have got deep pockets, not only to those who are well-heeled. It is also a bit frustrating for me when you look at the prizes that you get, for the tickets. A lot of people in South Africa love rugby, and a lot of those people may not be employed or may not be getting good salaries and stuff like that. So I think that at some stage, SARU must factor in the fact that the team belongs to the people, and the people must also be able to buy tickets and be able to afford to go and watch them. I mean, think back to what we did during the 2010 World Cup. We made sure that we got the message to go through the heads of FIFA that the people must have access to the game, and there were categories of tickets that were made available to the blue-collar workers, to the working class, to be able to gain access to the stadium and enjoy the greater spectacle in as far as soccer is concerned. The same, I want to believe, must happen with rugby. So it's wonderful to know that people are going to be able to access and watch this match between the Springboks and Italy on the SABC as well. You mentioned Willie Leroux. 100 is no child's play, my brother. 100 is a special number. 100 is not something that a lot of people have been able to do. I think from the top of my head, I can think of Brian Habana. I think Vita McFeed comes in there. I think the latest to be able to join that elite club was Elizabeth. Eben Elizabeth.
Yes. No, it's a special group of players. Billy becomes the 8th Springbok player to join the club. And I think, the guys you mentioned are legends of the game. Victor Metro, John Smith, Brian Habana, Beeston Tawarira.
Yes.
Eben Elizabeth. And now Willie Leroux gets a chance to join the club. It's a special club. It just shows, the type of player Willie has been. He's been around. He's played for Cheetahs in Bloem. He's played for the Stormers in Cape Town, went overseas, and came back. Now it's at the Bulls. And you can see when Willie's playing, the calmness that he brings to the team. And what I liked as well, is he had players putting pressure on him in terms of the position. Players like Apelele Fasi, Damien Willemse. And you hear from the weekend special, Apelele Fasi talking about the impact that Willie has been in his career, helping him at the Springboks, just guiding him on how to read situations and play certain circumstances. So I think his role as in the team has been very important, and I'm so happy for him, and I'm sure that tomorrow will be a great day for him, and a massive congratulations to him and his family.
Indeed, it is a special thing. It is not something that happens anyhow. And he's got caps number 99. He's had 75 points, doing so in the green and gold of the Springboks. This is a stellar career, man.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing. I think you only look at it as a player when you're done. But I think, to play 100 games for your country shows you the type of player you are, because obviously there's injuries, there's loss of forms, there's a lot of competition. But for you to be able to be there year in, year out and perform at the highest level and be able to get to this stage is really amazing. And it just shows you that's why I think that at the moment there's only 7 players that have managed to achieve that, and Willie becomes number 8, and it's just amazing. And there's a couple of players that are close, and there's a lot of players as well that we thought would reach 100 caps but never did. So it's a great achievement for Willie Leroux, and I'm sure tomorrow will be a great day for him.
It is exactly 8 minutes before the hour of 7, and you can join in the conversation on 0861987000 as I continue my chat with Akona Ndungane as we look ahead to the game that's going to take place at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in Gqeberha. The final game, the second game, the test between the Azzurri of Italy and Amapokopoko. Now, Akona, it is special indeed for Willie Leroux, but also for one Makazole Mapipi going home to the stadium where between 2016 and 17 he starred for the Southern Kings. He's coming back in the green and gold of the Springboks. It is going to be electrifying and extra special for him also on a personal note.
I think so as well, BBK. We all know what Makazole Direct Mapimpi has been through. He's played for the Southern Kings. He's played in Gqeberha. He knows this pitch very well. He knows the people of Gqeberha. And the people of Gqeberha love Makazole Mapimpi, not only because of him being the first player to score a try at the World Cup final, but I think for the way that he treats people, the way that he can relate to everyone that comes up to him. And for him to come back to Gqeberha and get a start, I think it's amazing. He's almost getting closer to 50 caps as well, having scored 32 times for the Springboks.
Yeah.
So he's an exciting player. And I think for him to come back to Gqeberha and get to start is something that's exciting. And I can't wait to see him run out there tomorrow. He knows that I think it's got very stiff competition from Chesley Colby and Katley Arons there, but for him, it's another chance to show that he still wants to be part of the Springboks, and he's still one of the players to be considered, going forward in the Springbok jersey.
Indeed, those 32 tries amounting to 160 points is going to be looking for his 47th cap. And as we about to wrap up, Akona as well, Rassie did speak about the issue of captaincy. We know that against the Barbers, it was Jesse Grill, and also in the first game against Italy, as Usia is still dealing with that niggling neck injury as well as an Achilles issue. You seeing this game tomorrow with Usalman Murat coming in to captain the team, looking for cap number 11. In terms of making sure that we toss around this captaincy, because it's not like we are short of leaders. Your Elizabeth is there. You've got your Peter Steff who's there, who's done the job as well. But I think that Rassie is doing this also looking at, we might be at a position where by the time we get to Australia for the defense, where hopefully we're going to be doing a hat trick in defending this title, you're going to be seeing somebody else being the captain by then.
Yes, I think, it's unfortunate that Usia is not fit currently, struggling with a niggle. But it's part of the game, injuries are there, and we have to accept that. And Uchesi, I think when he captained the team in the past 2 games, he did very well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Salman Murat gets a chance. We've seen how well he's done for his team. He's captained the team, and the nice thing about him is got Peter Steff du Toit, who's very experienced. He's got Marco Marx, who's very experienced in the team. So he's got people to rely on. Willie Leroux's playing with 100 caps.
Yeah.
And I think for Rassie Erasmus now, he's in a very good position. You spoke about Eben Etzebeth. You spoke about Henry Pollard, who's also captain the team. So it's always nice to have a team with so many senior players that will bring the calmness to the youngsters, and it makes the captain's job easy when you know that you've got so much leadership around you. Most definitely, man. Let's make the circle bigger, Akona, and invite another voice to this conversation. One of the major things for me when it comes to the Springboks is that at some stage I couldn't give my love to the team. I could not support the team because I could not see myself in the team. Mm-hmm. But when you look at the current crop of the squad and look at the job that Rassie has done in terms of transforming
the identity of the team, making sure that it reflects the demographics of what we are as a population in South Africa. It is something that we can be proud and put our chest out for. The work must continue. It must never stop, even post-rugby Erasmus era. But let's go to the road and welcome KG, who also wants to join in the conversation. KG Madala, good evening and welcome to Power Sport Extra with BBK. Black and proud, my man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Just on the point that you've just made. Akona, are you good?
I'm good, my brother. How are you?
Good, man. I just want to say, maybe BBK doesn't know about it. More than anything else, your generation of professionals in the game did not just leave the game afterwards, but I'm really inspired by the work that you do with Mac Masina. Literally going where, there would not necessarily be opportunities because some would have those opportunities because of the kind of schools you'd be going to. But you guys now, with the work that you do with your foundation, you've proven not only to people who love the sport, but also you're saying, if I've seen the light and I've made it there, I'm going to come back and make sure that all candles receive the same light. And I really, really want to appreciate you on that point. But with the game tomorrow, on the point that you were mentioning earlier on about leadership in the team, it also comes with a vision, I think, of the coach, the coaching staff itself. When you say BBK, that you now can see yourself in it.
Yeah,
it was always going to take time, but we needed pioneers, that people that will go first and actually become those whom people will look up to and say, this thing is doable.
Yeah,
I can go and actually become successful with this sport. And those people are people like Akon.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to tell you stories of Pretoria in the olden days, KZN has always been much better. You had to work more. You always had to work more than double to impress people that can see talent in you. They can see talent, but they're saying nope. He's not going to come in here and actually make it difficult for our sons to come in. But I really just want to honor you that you just did not leave the game yourself. And I know many former players are doing it, but because you were here, I just wanted to talk about the work that you do with Mac Masina.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the support and I appreciate those kind words. They mean a lot. Thank you. I appreciate that.
The KG, I'm not going to let you go. I want to know about those stories in Pretoria. Talk to us, man. The platform is yours.
I'm not the one in the studio.
You raised the subject. You raised the topic. So, Madala, I'm putting a gun on your head. Talk.
It wasn't easy. While KZN was actually seeing, the advantage of having the kind of players, rugby players that naturally, your African players in the positions where they did not have.
Yeah.
While in Pretoria, in my capital city, in my home, it was still very difficult because you had to do it more than twice.
Mm.
It wasn't easy. And you just look at the Sharks now and look at, I'm a Blue Bulls supporter, but look at the Sharks now and look at their development teams, look at the senior teams, you will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you very much, my brother, for being always part of the family and coming through with your thoughts there. Akona, David M. Selega on Twitter says, BBK, Madala, I've marked the register, I'm here, but please make sure that you don't let Akona go without giving us his prediction. So, what's the score going to look like on the scoreboard tomorrow when the Huta goes through between the Springboks and the Azzurri, Akona?
I think obviously, we all know the Springboks is going to do well and win the game. And I think they should win comfortably with 30 points.
This 30 points gives me the shivers. You know why? Last week, I spoke to your mate, Brayton Bolse, and I asked the score, and they said, we're going to win by 30 points, bro, BBK. And when I watched that second half, I was like, I need to call him. So you must pass on the message to him and say, he owes me. He owes me a beautiful bottle of wine from the Cape because that 30 points did not happen, which also means if it doesn't happen tomorrow, you will owe me another bottle of wine. Deal?
Deal. So if it happens, what do you owe me, Mr. BBK?
I owe you a presence in the studio in person.
So that's a bottle of wine in studio. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Noted.
Wonderful.
Okay.
My brother,
Thank you
always
so
a
much.
pleasure. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming through. This man made his test debut for the Springboks on July 15 in 2006. It was against Australia. And of course, he was part of that victorious 2007 class of the Springboks that brought home the Webb Ellis Trophy, featuring in one pool match on that occasion. This conversation is the first of many to come again, Akona. Enjoy the game tomorrow and keep your fingers crossed that you deliver on your promise of 30 points.